Tonight on CTV3 News, Orange Walk records 2 fatal road traffic accidents, including a hit and run. Contraband bus in San Victor, joint operation uncovers smuggled goods. Mexico records its first case of new school worm as the U.S. temporarily halts imports of Mexican cattle. And the Office of the Special Envoy commemorates 16 days of activism. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, November 25th, 2024.
Pro FC is here on Saturday, November 30th. Pro FC arrives at the Garden City Belmopan. Pro FC 14 Mundo versus Topsy inside the UB Gymnasium in the city of Belmopan. The main event is the lightweight championship fight between the defending champion Marvin Manley Mundo versus the dangerous Amel Topsy. We also have 9 other exciting MMA fights, including 2 more championship fights and a featured professional international MMA fight featuring the undefeated Frank McVasquez. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the event starts at 7:30 p.m. sharp. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $80 available at the event ticket booth. Pro FC, Belize Premier MMA League. Pro FC 14 live exclusively on Centaur.
Pro FC 14 is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, the Belmopan City Council, and Express Plus app, streaming entertainment.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. A 57-year-old resident of August Pine Ridge lost his life over the weekend after he was knocked down as he was walking on the road. The incident happened on Friday night shortly before 7 p.m. as Luisco was walking between the communities of Trinidad and August Pine Ridge. At the same time, 23-year-old Bernard Redicup was driving his Chevrolet Colorado pickup truck from Trinidad to August Pine Ridge. He had just exited Trinidad Village when he knocked down Koo, who was flung off the road and onto the right-hand side of the highway in a ditch. Koo sustained severe head and body injuries and reportedly died on the scene. He was transported to the Northern Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Bernard Redicup was issued with a notice of intended prosecution as police investigations into this incident continues. Police in Orange Walk are also investigating a fatal hit-and-run accident that occurred over the weekend. The victim has been identified as Fabio Can. Tonight, cops are asking for the public's assistance in identifying the driver and the vehicle.
Okay, on Saturday, the 24th of November, police responded to a fatal road traffic accident at Orange Walk. Upon arrival, they saw the lifeless body of a male person with severe injuries. He was taken for treatment where he succumbed to his injuries. Information is that he was on the highway when he was knocked down by a vehicle that did not stop. He was identified as Fabio Khan of Orange Walk. Investigation to this matter continues.
He was knocked down, right?
Yes, he was knocked down.
Was it a hit and run?
Yeah, hit and run, the vehicle did not stop. We are looking for the vehicle at this time.
There was also a second road traffic accident reported here in Orange Walk over the weekend. This time it was a motorcycle which crashed into a horse in the outskirts of San Jose Village on Sunday evening. The motorcycle was being driven at the time of the accident by 21-year-old Adriana Khan. Also traveling along with her was 18-year-old Josephine Reyes, both from village of Carmelita. The women reported to police that they were traveling from Buena Vista to San Jose when a horse suddenly appeared on the road. They were unable to avoid a direct collision which killed the horse on impact. Both women received treatment for injuries received and have been discharged. Police investigations into this matter is ongoing. A significant contraband bust has unfolded in the village of San Victor, Corozal. Reports indicate it is a result of a collaborative operation between the Belize Police Department and the Customs and Excise Department. Initial reports indicate that authorities intercepted a red rodeo vehicle loaded with smuggled fruits and vegetables. These goods are believed to have been transported through an illegal entry point from Mexico, raising concerns about the ongoing issues related to contraband trafficking in the region. CTV3 News will continue to follow this story closely and provide updates as more information becomes available. A father from the community of San Jose here in Orange Walk District is tonight hoping that he will be reunited with his two young daughters who were removed from his home and taken across the border to Guatemala. Nelson Pett reported to police on Saturday that his two young daughters, ages 15 and 8, were discovered missing from home shortly before midday on Saturday as family members checked in on them as their father was at work at the PGIA. Upon noticing that the girls were not at home, they quickly notified Pett, who then contacted authorities. Quick response from the police and the family discovered surveillance from a nearby business, which showed the girls getting into a vehicle at around 5 on Saturday morning. The driver of the vehicle was identified later on that same day. Upon speaking to the driver, Pett says his worst fears were confirmed. That is, that his two little girls were illegally taken over to Guatemala by family members.
The police officer in Orange Rock, while my father went to the station the day the report as well, they actually came to San Jose village and checked the video footage of that store, and they actually saw when around 5 in the morning, my daughters walked away from the house to a nearby vehicle waiting for them. We actually did not know who was in the car, who drives the car. So when we actually found out that, we were like, okay, we had exactly what clue, because I was like, I know more or less maybe who came for them. So at that point, the post of my kids was already out there on social media. And then in the evening time, the driver of that same car called me, and I was like, okay. He said like, I was the driver of the car, blah blah blah, but I just got hired, and he mentioned exactly who hired him. I was like, okay, call the police station and make a report, because it's nothing to do with me anymore. It's the police officers. So after that, we got to know exactly who came for them. And at that time, we was like, okay, they're heading to Guatemala. That's where my stepson, the girl's brother that came for them, resides in Guatemala. So actually, from that's Saturday, yesterday morning, we had information that they really are on the other side. The police in the Resort Branch CIB got in contact with one of my daughters, my older daughter that resides in Guatemala as well, and they were saying that she has them and voluntarily will bring them back, but we haven't got no more information as to when or how she will get them here.
Pett says one of his adult children was responsible for taking the girls out of the country. That same person has now contacted authorities in Belize, saying that the children will be returned. However, Pett says no timeline was given as to when that is expected to happen.
Nothing yet. As far as I know, I went this morning in Orange Rock Police Station, and I did a report at the Human Services. And then after that, I went to the police station again, and they said that because it's on the other side of or another country, their jurisdiction is not, they cannot do anything until we have to wait. That's all they said.
This is not the first time that Pett's children are taken out of the country without his consent. In 2019, the girls were taken to Guatemala by their mother, who then left them in the care of relatives. On that occasion, Pett says he was able to get the children back.
This happened 5 years ago when I split with my common love wife at that time, 5 years ago before COVID. She actually, because she's from Guatemala, so she took them there 5 years ago before COVID in 2019. Yeah, so she took them all on that side. So, but at that time, because it's the mother that took them, so I went and did an official report at that time and said, well, if the kids are with their mom, we cannot really do anything. And I was like, okay, we'll leave it. I just left it like that. 2 years ago, one of my daughters at that time, she's 13, she contacted me and said that they need to come back home because her mother left them with their aunt, and she went to the States and left them with their aunt. So they were like, we need to go back home. So
Because the girls are with family members, Petch says the authorities are not considering them missing. However, he is today asking for assistance to return them to their country and back to their family.
the police officer, like we know that they're with a family member, but still they were taken away.
Yeah.
Although my daughters, they walk away from the house, that's what they're putting it as a runaway, but still they're missing. They're still not here. I haven't seen them. I haven't heard from them yet. So I'm not sure how long the police will wait, or we still have to wait, or yeah, I have no idea yet.
Okay. But you don't believe that they're in danger or anything like that?
At this moment, I cannot put myself into that part because they're in the sisters, but then they're alone there.
Yeah.
You know, so I cannot say I don't really know where they are as well, so I don't have a location where they are.
A shooting incident that occurred around 7 p.m. last night in the village of Libertad has left 2 persons with injuries. The violent outburst unfolded as Edwin Gomez and his wife, Reina Rubicelli Tobar, were at home. Witnesses reported hearing multiple gunshots in the area, and once the gunfire subsided, both Gomez and Tobar were found injured. By the time authorities responded to the scene, the couple had already been transported to the Corozal Community Hospital for medical attention. As of tonight, Edwin Gomez remains under observation at the Corozal Community Hospital and is reported to be in stable condition. In contrast, his wife, Reina Rubicelli Tobar, required more intensive treatment and has been transferred to the Northern Regional Hospital, where she is also listed as stable. While the Belize Police Department is actively investigating the incident, a motive is yet to be ascertained.
Edwin Gomez reported he was at home when he heard his dogs barking. He came out to make checks. That is when he heard several gunshots and realized he was shot. The person followed him and fired more shots, and also injured was his Kamala wife, Reina Tobar. We have 1 person in custody in regards to this shooting. They both remain in stable condition at the hospital.
What's the motive as to this point?
We do not have a motive. Follow-ups are being done at this time.
On Saturday, police formally arrested and charged Abraham Levi Shaw, 33, of Masan Street, Mayamupan area, Belmopan City, Cayo District, for the crime of murder. Shaw is accused in the killing of Jonathan Leonardo, 18, of Duck Run 2, Cayo District, on Wednesday night. According to police, Leonardo, along with 2 other friends, went inside the Venus restaurant and bar located at mile 47 on the George Price Highway. While there, Jonathan ordered beers at the counter. That is when he became involved in a confrontation with Shaw. For things not to escalate, Leonardo exited the bar and went inside his vehicle along with his 2 friends. As he was about to drive away, Shaw allegedly approached the vehicle and fatally shot Leonardo in front of his 2 friends, leaving the scene before authorities could arrive. We understand Shaw has retained the services of attorney Norman Rodriguez. November 25th is known globally as the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and here in Belize, the National Women's Commission, in commemoration with stakeholders across the country, today officially launched its annual 16 Days of Activism. This year, the event was launched under the theme No Excuses. The aim is to raise awareness and create a call of action to eliminate all forms of gender-based violence. Today, members of the Gender-Based Violence Committee here in Orange Walk appeared in our morning show, Despierta Belize, to share more about how they are using this year's theme to tackle gender-based violence.
Last year alone, we had 1,078 females in the system, and this is as live statistics as we can get.
Okay.
1,078 females and 169 males either reported some form of violence or the other. All right? Now that's a large number.
It is.
And it's growing every single year.
Only when we come together as a community can we take the first step towards ending all forms of gender-related violence, says Eldred Neal, chair of the Gender-Based Violence District Committee.
One of the key things I think that I really like to highlight, our Range Walk District, our number of reports has always been top and continues to remain on top. So the committee, and like she said, it's gratifying to know that we're seeing the numbers. We're seeing more people coming out to the police station. We're seeing more people coming into the Human Service Department, all the different government agencies. And we have to continue with this trend. All right? And I encourage people, you could come and talk to us. Confidentiality is a must.
Right. Right.
All right?
Right.
The pathway is there. We have interagencies. We have NGOs. We have a pathway where we have boxes where you can go, and you don't want to talk to anybody, just simply drop a note. Drop a note in a box to state your case. And know yourself, somebody will follow it up.
Exactly.
Because these are some of the issues. I know we've been trying to have a box all the way down Belize Road and the entrance at Dickerson. We wanted to have one at 123. Different establishments have been working with us to ensure that we can help.
Over the next 16 days, various events and ceremonies will continue to raise awareness about recognizing and combating gender-based violence.
We're visiting the high schools, all high schools in Orange Walk, and Muffles Junior College and IT Vet too. We're going to be visiting them in the next upcoming days and talking about gender-based violence and different types of abuse with our children. We have some trainings for our health workers, and of course we have engaging men and boys in these conversations as well. We also have a women in defense training, and we have some very interesting visits with the domestic violence unit and people from the health department, where we'll be visiting different areas, different villages, and talking to them on their rights. And not only our rights at the police station, but how to go about through the hospital care as well if you are being abused. And then on Friday the 6th of December, we'll be having our candlelight vigil and a short parade starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Central Park. Short parade right around the downtown area. We're inviting the student government from the high schools. We're inviting the public, different NGOs, different organizations. Come out with us, do the little march. The candlelight vigil is for those who have lost their lives to violence.
Or suffering.
Or those who are suffering and those who have championed it.
As part of the official launch of the 16 Days of Activism, a red flag was raised at the Orange Walk Town Council to signify solidarity and support in the fight against all forms of gender violence. Coming up next, Corozal Community Hospital unveils newly renovated women's ward. Stay tuned.
Hi, my Orange Walkenios. Have you considered why areas of our town flood easily? It's no secret that developing areas in our town flood easily due to clogged drains full of garbage and debris. By properly disposing of waste, we ensure free flow in our drains, preventing flooding in developing areas. I thank you as we ask for your support.
This is my first visit to Belize as a foreign minister, but my fourth overall. I first came here 20 years ago. Taiwan and Belize have many things in common, and we both cherish peace and uphold the values of freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. And based on these solid foundation of common ideals and mutual interests, our friendship has continued to flourish for 35 years. The government of Taiwan, in response to Prime Minister Briceño's request during his visit to Taiwan in May, has agreed to provide financial support for the reconstruction of Beacon Bridge in Belize City. We understand that this is a pressing issue concerning the city's transportation safety.
Taiwan has proven over those 35 years to be a very valuable partner and very consistent partner and ally and friend of Belize's development. So we're very happy to welcome Minister Lin and his delegation to Belize.
Relationship between countries starts with personal friendships. And once you build that personal friendship, then you start to build on top of that.
Project, it's a vanilla training for the west and the southern part of the country, which is being funded by the Taiwan Mission in Belize. Our focus is to diversify, to find ways to diversify the economic base of Belize. And we had identified that there may be some competitive advantage in the vanilla sector. While Belize doesn't have much production right now, there seems to be an interest in the international market for Belize gourmet vanilla bean. And we identified for the south, which is Bella Vista, to implement it because we found out, first of all, that there's they have a quite good history in implementing projects. We're training 30 women, okay, and girls. A partnership with the school, with the high school, where they're bringing in at least a little less than half of the persons that will be trained are young girls, youth.
Vanilla is native to Toledo District. It is easy to grow. It can be grown in the backyard. It requires no special skill. You don't have to go far off to a plantation to do it. So it really lends itself to rural what we call home gardens. And is a way to generate income for households.
The demand towards women is so high, the expectations are high, and the rewards are always low, especially to the members, those who will be taking this course. Take advantage of it, work hard. You know, in 2022, when that email came to me, at no point I ever think that we will have this opening of this training in Bay of Saturday in my village. But I took that initiative, I did it right away. You know why? Because I did it for the betterment and the progress and the development of our beautiful country, Belize.
The 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence is a global campaign that raises awareness and galvanizes action to end violence against women and girls. Spanning from the 25th of November, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, to 10th of December, International Human Rights Day, this annual campaign reminds us that a brighter, violence-free future is within our reach. This year's theme, No Excuses, powerfully aligns with the mission of the Office of the Special Envoy for the Development of Families and Children. With that in mind, Special Envoy Rosana Briceño partnered with a number of attorneys from Orange Walk and the Women's Department to offer a legal aid and gender-based violence workshop for women on Saturday. According to the Special Envoy, her office saw the need to make these sessions available countrywide after they were introduced in the South 2 years ago.
Women were asking us to help them in terms of getting information to them of what their rights are, of what services are available in Belize to help them protect themselves. We consulted with Human Development, we consulted with the Women's Commission, and we realized that we really needed to put something together to take it to our women. The women won't come to us. Most women don't come to go anywhere for help. So what we realize is that we have to take these conversations to them, have these conversations with them. So this is why we're having it in Orange Walk today. Yes, we have a very small group, but the hope is that the women here will take back the information to their own communities, to their homes, so that more women are informed.
When it comes to the area of gender-based violence, Saturday's workshop highlighted the need for us to protect our children who are being abused, says Bresenio.
They need to protect our children. We have so many cases right now of abuse, specifically incest. It's prevalent in our communities more than we think. Incest in the family, you know. People don't talk about these things. They don't want to talk about these things. But every day in our homes, in our communities, unfortunately in our churches, these things are happening. Our young people are being abused, they're being raped, they're being just traumatized with all the situations. I mean, we don't want to sound alarmist, but it's happening. We want to take preventative measures. We want to inform our women what signs to look for. And if a child confides in you, listen to your child. Children don't make things up. When you see changes, little changes in your child, they're isolating themselves, they're becoming withdrawn. A certain family member comes in the house and they go somewhere they don't want to be there. And we are right there. Go kiss your uncle, go kiss your grandpa, because we don't expect that these things are happening, but in reality it is. So if you see your child saying, I'm going to hug my grandpa, or I don't want to hug my uncle, go to that child and ask, what's going on? You just have to ask that question once or twice, and trust me, that child will open up. And it's up to us as parents to believe our children and to find help for them.
As it relates to the area of legal aid, the women had a number of questions aligned with their rights, including divorce and children custody, says attorney Shanidi Rubina.
Divorce seems to be a reoccurring issue, custody, but because we're from, well, the area of law I work in, we're hoping to get some more response in relation to sexual offenses, because sometimes many women silently go through rape, sexual assault in their homes and not speak about it. We're also encouraging the women to reach out to attorneys. There are private attorneys here in Orange Walk, but also there's the Legal Aid and Advice Services Center here in Orange Walk. There's a branch and an attorney comes every week as well.
Okay. In the area of divorce, what would you say is the question most asked when it comes to them? Their rights to what they're entitled to?
Their rights in relation to property, you know, when it comes to maybe division of marriage, the custody of the children, also the fees, because divorce proceedings carries a fee.
Also, in commemoration of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, the Office of the Special Envoy organized a self-defense class for women and girls. The session took place at the Orange Walk People's Stadium, where we caught up with participants and both trainers, Thomas Godfrey of the War Training Center and Orlando Che from Fit Life 501. Both facilitators spoke to us about the importance of learning self-defense techniques.
I'm not teaching really high-level moves. I'm teaching basic moves that these ladies could use to escape, not to win or to beat anyone, because when it comes to self-defense and you're defending yourself against a man or a stronger person, it's not usually when it comes to male and female, the guy has the upper hand against the strength. So we're not trying to fight these men out here. We're trying to defend ourselves using proper techniques and to run away and escape to safety. So that's all I'm teaching them, and whatever I'm teaching them, It's not the perfect technique, it's not the correct techniques, because anything works when it comes to self-defense, right? It's to protect yourself first of all, so anything really works. I'm just opening up their eyes and their minds of certain things they could use to help them in these situations.
We live in a society that is rather dangerous. You never know when something unexpectedly will happen to you. Someone will approach you, will want to mug you, will want to hurt you. So this month we're taking the time to come out here and show the community that there are certain steps that you can take to help you when you're in such a situation, of how to avoid getting hurt and so forth. So it's good to have these type of events so that people can come out and engage and learn something.
For Special Envoy Rosana Briceño, it is important that women know how to defend themselves when being attacked.
It's about protecting yourself from assault. You're walking, somebody assaults you. Most of the time when those things happen, you freeze. But when you get self-defense classes, you're being attacked, what do I do now? Most people don't even have time to think. But if you get training, then you go, okay, this is what I learned, and then they will hopefully put it into practice to defend themselves and hopefully to get away and survive. But it also comes with mental health too. That mentally you are prepared, mentally you're telling yourself, this is not my last day, I will survive this, and you are prepared for anything that comes at you. So I think it's important that women can defend themselves, because they see us as weak, but we have some women that are fit, some women that hold you down, you know to get up. But if you do it professionally, you do it that you've been trained, then your chances of survival goes up.
The Curacao Community Hospital showcased its newly renovated women's ward today, hosting the Minister of Health and Wellness, Honorable Kevin Bernard, and the PUP standard bearer for Curacao Bay, Thea Garcia Ramirez, along with other distinguished guests for a guided tour. After significant efforts from both men and women during the renovation project, the ward has been transformed, presenting a fresh and modern appearance. Hospital representatives and community members celebrated the completion of the project, marking a new chapter in healthcare for the region. Elmer Cornejo was in attendance and has prepared a detailed report on the event and the renovations.
The Corozal Community Hospital has significantly upgraded its facilities and services in recent years, enhancing the quality of healthcare for residents in the district. In a ceremony held today, the hospital unveiled a completely renovated women's ward, a project spearheaded by Roger Riverol, the newly appointed Deputy Regional Health Manager for Northern Belize. Accompanied by his dedicated team, Riverol shared the exciting transformation of the women's ward, which had been in dire need of renovation. The upgrades are expected to create a more comfortable and welcoming environment for women receiving medical care. The funding for the renovation, amounting to $8,900, was generously provided by Thea Garcia Ramirez, standard bearer for the People's United Party in Corozal Bay. Garcia Ramirez expressed her emotional connection to the project during the ribbon-cutting ceremony this afternoon.
Today is very special and meaningful because today is the start officially of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and so I was very happy to be able to open the ward. As you can see, it's been retrofitted, given a complete makeover from the ceiling all the way to the ground, and we now have AC, we have new fans. The bathroom has also had a big retrofit, so we're very, very happy. When you come, I think it's important to provide a space that will be conducive to, no stress, or as least stress as possible, and, a place where you can heal and start to feel better again. Surroundings are a big part of that, when you're in a place that looks nice, or as nice as you can make it in a hospital setting, then I believe that really lends itself to people feeling more at ease. They're comfortable, and the person that comes here to be with them, a family member, is also comfortable as well. So I'm glad to say you won't have to be trekking with your fan to Corozal Community Hospital any longer, and you'll be greeted with brand new wards. And I just want to thank Mr. Roger Virol from the Corozal Community Hospital to reach out to me and ask me, to partner with them and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. For this, it's for our community, and I know that everyone that comes here is going to take care of the new facilities because, everybody at some point or another has been to the hospital, including myself.
Present at the ceremony was the Honorable Kevin Bernard, Minister of Health and Wellness, who commended the community effort behind the renovation. He emphasized the importance of such projects in improving healthcare facilities throughout the region.
The vision of our regional manager as well, and seeking out support from people within the community, and Thea stepped up to the plate in terms of renovating the female ward. As you know, you see a new seating area within the ward, better lighting, fans, AC, replacement of the doors. In fact, the restroom that has been upgraded as well. Over $8,000 have been invested here. All this is for the benefit of the patient who come to the facility, utilize the facility, but at the same time, also the staff who have to utilize and walk in these spaces. And I want to also say that I'm very grateful to understand that through her support, they're also going to upgrade the staff lounge in the ER, I think I'm told, and another section through her support. So definitely, this is what community work is. This is what working together with our leaders, or various leaders, in everybody putting a grain of salt, as I say, to make sure that we could improve health services for people. As you know, the government and through our ministry, we have tried our very best to do as much as we can with the resources we have. But these type of support also add on to the value of what we do in terms of the service being provided here by our professionals. So I also want to say on behalf of myself and the ministry, thanks to Mrs. Ramirez for her support, and I know that she will continue to do this because this is her community. This is where she grew up, and so and to the administrators and to the regional manager and the staff, the doctors, the nurses who are here, who every day, like I said, give of their time and effort to provide efficient and optimal service to the people of Corozal. While you will always hear sometimes the negative, these are the positive things that we should talk about.
With the women's ward now complete and ready to accept patients, plans are already underway to restore the emergency room lounge, further illustrating the hospital's commitment to enhancing healthcare services in Corozal. Elmer Cornejo, CTV3 News.
In early October, the pediatric ward at the hospital received its facelift courtesy of the Corozal Free Zone Management. A case of New World screwworm has been detected in the southern Chiapas state of Mexico. According to Reuters report, due to the discovery, the United States has temporarily halted imports of Mexican cattle. The Mexican government confirmed the discovery in Catazaja, a town near the Guatemala border, on Sunday. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, was notified by Mexico's chief veterinary officer that the NWS was found in a cow at a checkpoint. As you may already know, NWS maggots can infest animals through open wounds, feeding on living flesh, and may be difficult to detect initially. The U.S. and Mexico are working to implement measures to resume cattle exports, though the suspension does not affect other Mexican exports. The USDA has urged livestock producers in the region to monitor their animals and report any suspected cases of the infestation. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Hi, my Orange Arcanios. Have you considered why areas of our tongue flood easily? It's no secret that developing areas in our tongue flood easily due to clogged drains full of garbage and debris. By properly disposing of waste, we ensure free flow in our drains, preventing flooding in developing areas. I thank you as we ask for your support.
This is my first visit to Belize as a foreign minister, but my fourth overall. I first came here 20 years ago. Taiwan and Belize have many things in common, and we both cherish peace and uphold the values of freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. And based on these solid foundation of common ideals and mutual interests, our friendship has continued to flourish for 35 years. The government of Taiwan, in response to Prime Minister Briceño's request during his visit to Taiwan in May, has agreed to provide financial support for the reconstruction of Beacon Bridge in Belize City. We understand that this is a pressing issue concerning the city's transportation safety.
Taiwan has proven over those 35 years to be a very valuable partner and very consistent partner and ally and friend of Belize's development. So we're very happy to welcome Minister Lin and his delegation to Belize.
Relationship between countries starts with personal friendships. And once you build that personal friendship, then you start to build on top of that.
Sean Diddy Combs' legal team has allegedly issued a cease and desist letter to his former Bad Boys record artist Moses Shine Barrow in response to claims made in Shine's new Hulu documentary, The Honorable Shine, multiple international sources have reported. In the documentary, Shine alleges that he was the fall guy for Diddy in the 1999 NYC nightclub shooting, which led to Shine serving a 10-year prison sentence while Diddy avoided jail time. Diddy, in response, called the claims unequivocally false, with representatives stating Mr. Combs was acquitted of all charges related to the 1999 Club New York incident. The music mogul also expressed disappointment that Shine revisited the long-settled matter, Blast reports. Shine, who had previously discussed the incident in interviews, stated in his documentary, "When I said it at the time, everyone was partying with Diddy while I was left to rot in prison." He also reflected on Diddy's impact on his life, saying, "This is the person that destroyed my life." Despite these allegations, Shine revealed that he has moved on and no longer holds grudges against Diddy, wishing for him to reform and fix himself. While Diddy denies the accusations, he acknowledged Shine's new political career, reiterating his stance against the malicious claims. "We understand Barrow has indicated that he has not been served with any cease and desist, nor has Disney notified him of that being the case." Albert Area Representative Tracy Panton has unveiled a newly reconstituted shadow cabinet. For the United Democratic Party, Panton, in a press release, said she convened its inaugural meeting on Wednesday. This body is tasked with critically examining the policies and actions of the government, ensuring accountability, and presenting alternative solutions and recommendations where necessary. Panton says she is the interim leader of the UDP following a convention at Civic where delegations voted to recall Moses Shine Barrow. Meanwhile, Barrow says he remains leader of the UDP. Panton says that shadow cabinet members have been appointed to correspond with the ministries that form Belize's executive government. Each member of the shadow cabinet has pledged to closely monitor the policies and initiatives undertaken by their respective government ministries to safeguard the interests and well-being of all Belizeans. According to Panton, the shadow cabinet will convene weekly to review government actions and develop their policy responses. Additionally, they will host quarterly press briefings to engage the public, offering updates and analysis of government decisions and fostering greater transparency and public involvement. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, November 26th here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at Facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.